Hi everyone, my name is Cindy. A couple of weeks ago, I did a Colleen Hoover Book-a-thon. These are the books I've read, a total of 7 books by Colleen Hoover. I did not include Confess because that book was not released when I was doing my book-a-thon. So let's talk about them, shall we? The first book that I read were part of a series, the Slam series. Slam, Point Retreat, and This Girl. Slam is written in the perspective of Lakin, while Point Retreat and This Girl were in the perspective of Will. I give Slam a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy it so much. I had the feeling where I had to keep reading. I didn't want to stop until I find out what happens to the characters. I really enjoy this book so much. When I got to Point of Retreat, my enjoyment level went down. That's why I gave this book a 4 or 5 stars. Usually I enjoy reading in the guy's perspective of a book. In this case, I didn't really like it as much as I thought I did. There was something about Will that kind of, I didn't really agree with some of his ideas and what he did. He got to the point where I was like, oh my god, Will, why did you do that? Then on to This Girl, which was again written in Will's perspective. This was like Slam, but in the perspective of Will. So 80% of the book was Slam again, and the rest of it was in present time. I give this book a 4 or 5 stars. The next books I read are part of the Hopeless series. Hopeless, Losing Hope, and Finding Cinderella. Oh my goodness, what can I say about this series? But I absolutely adore this series so much. Especially Sky and Holder. Oh my goodness, my OTPs! Woo! Sky and Holder both have very dark pasts. Rather than letting the past haunt them daily, they learn to just try to move on. With the help of each other, they realize they are stronger together than separate. I give Hopeless a 5 out of 5 stars. Losing Hope was written in the perspective of Holder. There are 2 sides to every story. That is why in Hopeless we got to see Sky's story, and now in Losing Hope we get to see Dean Holder's story. Holder. Oh my goodness, this boy, he has been through so much. I felt like I wanted to hug him and tell him it's gonna be alright. I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was that amazing. There were some hopeless scenes in this book, but at the same time there were some other part of the stories that we did not know about, and it's seen from Holder's point of view. I like how Colleen Hoover strictly left Sky's story in this book, and then in Losing Hope we got to see Holder's point of view. We got to learn about his family, his friends, and his dark past. Finding Cinderella is a novella. It is a story about Daniel, who is Dean's best friend, and Six, who happens to be Sky's best friend. So their best friend fell for each other. It's a novella, so it's very short read and very fast. I really enjoyed this. I give it a 4 or 5 stars. The story was really straight to the point. I got to know a little bit more about Daniel and a little about Six, who I got to read about in Losing Hope and Hopeless. Their story is really cute, how they first met and how they found each other again. It's really much fate that they did meet again. The last book I read in my Colleen Hoover Book-a-thon was Ugly Love. Oh my goodness, I thought I wanted to hug Holder to tell him it wasn't alright. Miles is my top guy character who I want to hug and tell him it's gonna be alright. Miles, Miles, what am I gonna do with you? His story, oh my goodness. His past is something that really breaks my heart to hear about. He has been through a hurricane to get to where he is now. The unique part about this story, there are actually two perspectives in the book. One of Tate and another of Miles. Miles' perspective is strictly written in the past tense, meaning it's a flashback of 6 years ago, and we got to know Miles' history and his past. While Tate's side is written in the present tense. So it's really something to read one's character's story from the past and then flip the page and to read another character story strictly in the present tense. It's not confusing at all. I really enjoy the way Colleen Hoover formatted this book. It's not confusing, it's really understandable. I give Ugly Love a 5 out of 5 stars. This was a fantastic read, very refreshing to her other stories she had written before. Hints of a warning, this has some adult content in it. Just a heads up in case you don't know there are. If I could rate the top guys in Colleen Hoover books that I really want to hug because they make me cry are Miles from Ugly Love, Holder from Losing Hope, okay, Ridge from Maybe Someday, Daniel from Finding Cinderella, and last but not least, Will from the Slam series. There is something about these guys. Their past really much define who they are now. So those were the books I read from a Colleen Hoover Book-a-thon. And oh my god, that was quite an experience going from one book after the next. I might do this again for my John Green book, so let's see if I do. If you want me to talk more about the Colleen Hoover books I read for this book-a-thon, let me know below. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos. Check out my previous video about The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks. Follow me at Smile Reading. Check out my blog at A Glimpse of Wonderland. And if you really enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have something to say, talk below. Let's talk. I'll see you soon.